Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. Okay, a little different this morning, but something worth watching and worth paying attention to. We all like to pick on California because of their idiotic political stance on pretty much everything. Okay, you know, the joke always being, hey, if California falls off into the ocean, the country would be a whole lot better. In most respects, I'm not going to disagree. I want you to understand something. California is responsible for 25% of the food that we eat in the United States. Okay. They grow over 450 different fruits and vegetables there. So, let alone what you got in the way of cattle ranches or bison ranches or goats or sheep or pigs or whatever. Okay. But in regards to fruits and vegetables, 450. Imagine if that is completely cut off. What happens? And what can you do about it? Gee, I wonder where I'm going with this one. Has anybody paid attention whatsoever to what's happened in the last week in California and Nevada? We've had 945 earthquakes in California and Nevada this week. The biggest one being a 4.8 magnitude just north of Malibu. Okay. 945 is a lot. A real lot. Okay. This is record amount of seismic activity that we've got going on in California. Could this mean we're going to see the big one soon? Now, everybody worries about the San Andreas fault, how they make movies about it, okay? A lot of this is going along the San Jacinto fault. So, what does this mean? Well, let's think about this. Let's look at the disaster readiness that the U.S. has. Let's ask all those people in Maui how well the government helped them. Let's ask all those people in Mississippi how well the government helped them. Or Kentucky. Or East Palestine, Ohio. If we lose a lot to California, because remember what happens with earthquakes, okay? Earthquakes cause flooding, earthquakes cause fires. Obviously, earthquake causes a lot of death and devastation. Okay. It's not just the ground opens up and that's that. It's buildings collapse, it's people die, it's things get destroyed. Okay. Like processing plants, like farms, like transportation, like the docks for shipping, and all that stuff we get from China, right? Okay. Imagine right now what happens if you open up your internet, turn on the news, look whatever, and they say California's burning. And I don't mean wildfires. I mean the city's burning. Like I said, this was 8 miles north of Malibu. This wasn't out in the middle of Death Valley somewhere and there's, one person per square mile at any given time. This is in population centers. Now, this brings the point up of what do you do about it? Well, anybody who is a prepper and not a Pino, prepper in name only, okay, or Pino, however you want to call it, is doing something about it. We're getting ready, if not already started, to grow our own. And I don't mean the little 5-leaf plant, okay? Now's the time to plant fruit trees. Now's the time to get some of your crops started and, your seedlings and things like that. Are you doing that? Now start thinking about stuff you buy at any sort of regularity that, comes from China, right? Okay. If the roads are destroyed, possible. Okay. The trucks aren't getting through. If the docks are destroyed, the ships aren't getting unloaded. Pick something. If there's earthquakes going on and the people are like, which we all figure is going to happen, screw going to work. I got to protect my house or protect my family or take care of me first. Okay. This is where survival of the fittest, look out for number one, okay, will really come into play. I highly doubt that any truck driver is going to go, yeah, honey, I understand that the house is burning down and, you and the kids have no place to stay, but I really need to go get in my truck and pick up that load of strawberries so I can take it to Kansas. Right? Okay. Not going to happen. 945 earthquakes, guys. What happens when it's the big one? How does that affect everybody? What do you get? I mean, this is it. Like I said, the federal response to Maui or Ohio or Mississippi or Kentucky or anything was a farce. I mean, we look at any of the federal response and everything. Go back to Katrina, okay? It's all a joke, It's nothing, Maybe Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey will come out and say, hey, send us all your money, right? Get all that again. But for those that live in California, I hope you have a bug out plan, okay? A good one. For those of you that live in, excluding California and Nevada, the other 48 states, I hope you have a backup plan. Because, sure, you've got food stored. Sure, you've got extra pairs of socks or whatever prep item you think you're going to need. But what if that's the last ones you get? Because as dumb as this sounds, guys, as much as California has gone completely turned into the land of fruits and nuts, and I don't mean by food, okay, we kind of still need them because we've got complacent as a country. We haven't come up with better ideas to plant stuff better for the masses, okay? Do you plant enough to feed your family? Maybe, okay? You better have a whole lot of garden space, okay? I think I was telling you one time to figure out how much you need, how much you eat, okay? 2,000 pounds of food per year per person. Mrs. P and I do not grow 4,000 pounds of food, okay? Just making that as a point. Yeah. Want to talk about a diet? There be the new diet. What are you going on? I'm going on the California earthquake diet. I can't get anything. Start taking this seriously. Scientists and seismologists have been warning us forever that the big one in California is overdue. 945 small earthquakes in 1 week. 4.8 ain't exactly small, but it's not devastating. In 1 week. Mother Nature's getting a little worried here. Then add that on top of the torrential rains that California's received lately. Okay? I mean, to the point where there was actually a lake in Death Valley that lasted for about a week. Death Valley, the hottest place on earth, guys. Hotter than the Sahara Desert. Death Valley is the hottest place on earth. And water stayed, they got so much rain, water stayed above ground for a week and made a lake. Did you ever think you were going to see that? That's the type of devastation right now that is teasing California. Hey, guess what? We're going to give you a ton of rain. It's going to topple trees, it's going to wash out roads, etc., etc., etc. Nah, now let's throw something into the mix and just make the earth open up and swallow everything. It may not affect us directly because we don't live there, but it's certainly going to affect us all indirectly, because if we don't have the product on the shelf, simple laws of supply and demand come into play as usual. There's less supply, demand doesn't change, prices go up. And the one thing none of us can handle right now is more inflation. But if this is any sort of signal to what's coming soon, add that extra package of underwear or whatever you need, batteries, anything that you buy that comes from China, which pretty much means anything that you buy that's in Walmart. Okay. Get an extra one. Make sure you're planting whatever you can, even if it's in 5-gallon buckets or whatever this year. Plant something, because I don't know, if you like tomatoes or you like strawberries, those may be the only ones you get a chance to eat this year. Because if this keeps going in California, the big one may hit. Pinball out.